Welcome back to another episode of Eagle Opinions, man. Just a lot going on in the NBA world, a lot going on in the NFL as well as the schedule was released. But the NBA it's getting real spicy. It's getting real spicy right now, and this is the times that we all wait for throughout the season. Season's nice, but this is where it starts to get good. You get to the semifinals, closeout games for the Cavs and the Spurs tonight. Can the Pistons and the Timberwolves extend these series? I really, really like what the Cavs were able to do last game, really taking advantage of Cade Cunningham and the Pistons' youth. A lot of turnovers at the end of the game. The Pistons were up, I believe, 8 or 9 with a couple minutes left. That's just not a game that you can lose, man. I know JB wasn't able to sleep last night at all. Just understanding that they really gave that game away, because regardless of tonight, this series should be going 7, even if the Cavs were able to win tonight. But they got to find a way to win tonight. A lot of pressure on James Harden. It's crazy because I feel like more of the pressure should be on Donovan Mitchell. But it is what it is, guys. A lot of the pressure is on James Harden because his failures in the past and his inability to perform in big games and big moments. And, the Cavs are going to need him tonight. You know what I'm saying? They needed him the other night. And, I think the Cavs are going to win tonight just because I think Donovan Mitchell didn't really play well in the last game. And I think he's, hometown cooking. And I think he's going to have a great game tonight. And I think that would be the reason why, they will win this game. I wouldn't be surprised if the Pistons win, though. The Pistons have showed all playoffs. They can claw back Cade Cunningham. Tobias Harris didn't really have a great game. Let's see if he can bounce back this game. Karis LeVert really been stepping up for them. Paul Reed, who I really feel like should be getting a lot more minutes. I don't know why they continue to play Jalen Duran. Wow. Just the way he played during the season. I think he averaged 19, 20 a game during the season. And in the playoffs, he's barely been able to average 10. So, he's really, really fallen off a cliff in the playoffs. And they've needed him badly. You know what I mean? Especially in that last game. He's basically become unplayable for them at this point, and that's sad to see. But this is the playoffs. This is not time to worry about what's sad to see and what's happy to and all this stuff. This is about finding ways to win basketball games and finding a way to be the first team to 4 in the series. And he hasn't given them a great chance of doing that. That's just the truth. But I think the Cavs should win this game tonight. But don't count out. Don't count out them boys from Detroit, man. Don't count them out. And just looking at the Spurs here, the Spurs, Wemby, man, just back and dominated, man. Man, I ain't even said it in the post game. Just like, man, like it's some things that Wemby does that just nothing you can do about. That's just the honest truth. I mean, he's 7'6", you guys. I mean, what are you honestly gonna do about that? You know what I mean? That's God given, and you gotta just take advantage of your opportunities when you get them. And I think the Timberwolves have not done a good job of that. I think they had a good run last game at the start of the third quarter where they had an opportunity to really, really, take advantage and take the lead there and really put their stamp on that game. And I think Ant is not as healthy as he's supposed to be at this time of the year. You know what I'm saying? I think he's still laboring that knee a little bit, and I can't really blame him for that. That's just his body. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing he can do about that. I definitely give him a lot of kudos for going out there, but this is not the Anthony Edwards I really, really know. But it's no excuses. You're out there on the court. You got to get the job done, bro. So I got to hold you to that standard. At the end of the day, he just didn't do enough for his team in that last game. Wemby showed up, Ant didn't. You know what I mean? They need Ant to go out there and really, really perform from game to game. And don't even get me started with Julius Randle. I really don't know where he's been at in this series. I really like the way he performed, starting off in the playoffs, but I don't know where he's been at in this series. He's basically been a no-show. They need him to perform at an all-time high level tonight if they're going to extend this series to a Game 7. And if he doesn't, they'll be home. They need a guy like Julius Randle to step up, because even if Ant has a great game, he can't do it by himself. Luckily they're at home tonight. I'm hoping guys like Terrence Shannon are able to step up. Mike Conley hit you a few threes. Ayo Dosunmu, who's really been playing really, really well, continue to step up. Give me 10, 15. You know what I mean? That hometown cooking. Come on, guys. Let's see if we can extend this. Naz Reid, give me a couple corner threes, a couple dribble drives. You know what I mean? A couple, trips to the free throw line. Like, leave your imprint on the game. That's what they're going to need from role players and these guys, man. But it all starts with Anthony Edwards, and they're going to need Julius Randle to also come out there and perform at a high level. And if he doesn't, like I said, they'll probably be at home. to be honest with you, because the Spurs are a well-oiled machine. They go out there and they play through Wemby, but they also have guards that can put the ball on the floor and that can attack you. And that's what makes it so hard to stop the Spurs, because the Spurs have a 7'6" guy in the paint, and when you also have guys that can break guys down to a science and have them looking like cones, that's not good. When you have a 7'6" guy rolling to the basket, that's already damn near impossible to guard. So it's just tough. It's tough. So, but I expect the Timberwolves to fight. They've showed me all playoff long that they're going to fight. They fought without Ant, and now they have Ant. So, am I supposed to believe that they're just going to lay down tonight? No, I don't. I expect them to really, really come out there and really, really, fight as hard as they can. And as crazy as it sounds, I expect the Spurs to win tonight. I just think the Spurs, with Ant not being 100%, they need Ant to be 100%. As good as I think he can possibly play tonight still, as good as I think guys like Jaden McDaniels can play, and Nas Reed and Ayo, and even if Julius Randle steps up, it's just what Wemby does on the floor. I just think that they're really, really having a difficult time defending him when he's getting to the paint at will. You know what I mean? And putting so much pressure on your defense, you almost have to foul him every single time. And I think he's really, really got comfortable in this series now. And I think tonight they close it out. I honestly really, really do. But like I said, it's same. I look at even though I think the Timberwolves are better than the Pistons, I look at them as they're in a similar situation in both of their series. Like, I think both of those teams can really, really fight, Pistons and the Timberwolves. And I think they're both really, really great teams. You know what I mean? And they're both going to come out tonight and really, really try to leave their imprint on the game and try to win them a game and force a Game 7. I really honestly believe that. But, I think that they're both outmatched. You know what I mean? I honestly do. And, I think the Timberwolves, in a way, have a better chance of winning than the Pistons, because they're at home. So, that's what kind of makes it tough for me when it comes to the Pistons, is that the Pistons are on the road. You know what I mean? So, in a closeout game, it gets really, really tough. So, but like I said, they showed before, and so have the Timberwolves. So, let's see how these teams come out tonight. Anthony Edwards, put on a show, man. Put on a show, man, and do what you do best. Show why you're one of the best players in the world, man. Because you're going against one of the best players in the world. And that best player in the world on the other side, Wembanyama, he's coming out there to show the world that he is the best player in the world. That's the timing he's on. So let's see how it all goes tonight, man. I'm going to end off talking about the NFL schedule release, man, which I really, really love, because, the NFL, to me, it's always a lot more weighted than the NBA. You know what I mean? People just love talking about the NFL and love what it can do. I'm going to do a whole video basically on all this, where I really, really touch on everything. I just kind of wanted to touch base on it before I get off here. Like I said, this is going to be a short and simple one for us today, guys, where we just kind of just touch base on things and break stuff down a little bit to a science. But at the end of the day, this NFL season is going to be a great season. I like what they did with the slates. You know what I mean? I was a little bit mad at first with the divisional games. Me being an Eagles fan, I kind of wanted to start off playing, some out-of-division team or whatever the case may be. But I like that we're starting off, with Commanders, 425. Great game. I would actually be there. Shout out to my boys Xander and Jacob Sports. But, I would actually be there. Just going to be a great opportunity just to, witness some Philly football and be around, some good people. But at the end of the day, man, I'm so excited for this NFL season. I'm excited for, just everything all the storylines, everything that we have going. And, what I'm saying? I'm excited for Mahomes coming back. Y'all drop down in the comments what y'all most excited for. What game are y'all looking forward to the most? You know what I'm saying? What team is everybody a fan of? As y'all know, me, fly Eagles, fly till I die. I'm always rep my birds. You know what I mean? But I'm excited for this season. I'm excited to see Jalen come out there and perform at a high level. I'm excited to see Devontae go out there and perform at a high level. I'm excited to see A.J. Brown perform at a high level if he's on the team. If he's not, Mekhi Lemon ready to step up. Datavian Wicks ready to step up. We got Moore ready to step up. Hollywood ready to step up. So, I'm excited to see what that committee can do. And, of course, you got Saquon in the back. You got that hell of a line up front, man. I'm just excited for this season, man. I don't want to get too much into my team. The defense on the other side, Coop, and we got that boy coming over from Seattle, Quinyon, that Bay, it gets scary over there. So, I'm excited for this NFL season, man. I'm excited for everything, the London games, and I'm excited for everything that we have going on with this season. So, happy to see that the schedule came out. Um, and, it's crazy because even though the schedule came out, everybody kind of already knew who they were playing first because they got leaked. So, but yeah, y'all. I appreciate y'all tuning in to another episode, man. I ain't gonna get too deep into the schedule release, because I'm gonna do a whole nother video on it. So don't think I don't care about the NFL. I'm just, what I'm saying. I gotta show some love to the NFL on its own. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you guys. I appreciate y'all tuning in to another episode of Equal Opinions, man. I love y'all, man. Keep going, man. Keep doing what you're doing on a daily basis, man. We're going to keep these videos coming, man. Let me know down in the comments what you want me to keep touching base on and any different things you want me to do. So, love y'all, man. I'll talk to y'all later, man.